All right. So essentially, going through things, learning about things that helps us process data. Babies lack this experience, and so that's why they're always into everything. They're just curious because they've never experienced before. Pain, they'll learn, quickly. I remember when I was 3 years old, I put my hand on the stove because I'd never done it before and I was curious. And I learned very quickly that that's not a good idea. I burned my hand. Pain is a useful purpose. There are some people who can't experience pain because they don't have the nerves impulses for them. But pain is very helpful, again, because it helps keep us safe, okay? Neuropathy is, let's see, neuropathy is looking at disorders and stuff like that can affect the nervous system, okay? So looking for an underlying cause, idiopathic neuropathy, controlling the underlying cause. This actually works best for treating neuropathy caused by diabetes and other non-contagious conditions. Okay, diabetes can be controlled, can't be cured. Some of the discomfort symptoms from neuropathy can be relieved. Some neuropathy sufferers are diagnosed with what's called idiopathic neuropathy when they can't explain, physicians can't explain why neuropathy is happening, okay? And basically at that point, you can only treat the symptoms. All right, so that's that. All right, so we're going to talk about the endocrine system a little bit. I'm not going to go too much into this. We don't usually do the endocrine system, but I will go over it a little bit, okay? Their hormones can have long-lasting effects in the bloodstream. They're released from the different glands. The major endocrine glands are the hypothalamus, the pituitary gland, the pineal gland, thyroid, calcitonin, the parathyroid, the adrenal, the gonads, and the pancreas. Okay, so I'm just going to talk a little bit about what each of these endocrine glands release and what they control. So the hypothalamus, there are hormones that go to the pituitary gland, and these guys affect growth, okay? That will determine your height, okay? If you release a normal amount, your normal height, depending on what's in your genetics. If you release too little growth hormone or too much, your height will be either severely restricted or enhanced, and that's why you can have really short people and really tall people. It's not common, but it does happen because of an imbalance in the growth hormones. It also releases oxytocin, which stimulates smooth muscles to contract. Okay, the pineal gland is responsible for your circadian rhythm, your sleep-wake cycle, and it releases melatonin. Okay. If there's an imbalance there or a problem, then that can affect your sleeping behavior. Thyroids, it's located right here, okay? This releases thyroxine and triiodithyronine, and these control the speeds of the cells in the body. You don't want them going too fast or too slow, okay? They increase oxygen use, stimulate heat production, and indirectly affect growth, okay? It also it produces calcitonin, which is responsible for moving excessive calcium from the blood to the bones. Okay, the parathyroid glands located on either side of the thyroid, and they produce parathyroid hormone, which is opposite of calcitonin. Okay, the adrenal glands release epinephrine and norepinephrine, and that's mainly to help out when you're in an adrenaline rush. That produces the fight or flight response. Cortisol regulates glucose metabolism during your emergencies, Aldosterone regulates the concentration of minerals, ions, and water in the blood and urine. And the adrenal androgens are the sex hormones. And well, actually, I'm going to go over those a little bit. The males release androgens in the gonads. So the gonads are the female glands, and males produce hormones called androgens. Most familiar is testosterone. Females produce estrogens, and the most common is progesterone. Okay. The pancreas produces insulin and glucagon, and this helps regulate the blood sugar levels in your bloodstream. All right, target cells are the cells that are the targets of the hormones. Steroid hormones will enter the cytoplasm and go to the hormone receptor complex to bind there, and that will alter the cellular process of the target cell. Non-steroid hormones lack the lipid contact and cannot diffuse through the cell membrane, and so they'll bind to receptors in the cell membrane, and they'll cause the release of other chemicals called second messengers. Sorry. All right, so the purpose of hormones is to influence or control a lot of our metabolic processes. Production is often controlled by negative feedback, okay? So, you know, you have a feedback here, and then you have a negative feedback, and hormones help to maintain homeostasis. They can be removed from the bloodstream to maintain, so you don't want to have too much of one. If you have too much insulin in the blood, that can actually drop your blood sugar to where it's really low, and that's bad. And they believe that the endocrine system seems to be interconnected with our thoughts and emotions. You know, we could be feeling down or depressed or just, overwhelmed, partially because of changes in hormone levels, okay? We can, especially right now, I'm sure we're all having, our thoughts and emotions are probably being highly affected by this, quarantine period, and we have to be very careful to, look at our, maintain our mental health as well as our physical health, and that means making sure that, your hormones aren't, aren't going out of whack too. So that's why it's important to get out, do activities. Just don't do schoolwork all day and stay inside, stay inside as best, as much as possible. But, interact with people as much as you can. Do an activity, do a puzzle, get a good night's sleep, eat properly, and this will help lessen those effects. And that's it, guys. Congratulations, you have reached the end of biology, and you have completed the school year. Please make sure to get the review questions done, and I've enjoyed having you guys in my class, and I'm proud of you, and thank you for hanging in there and being so patient and understanding. Take care and have a great and blessed summer.